Okay, this is a quick video. I'll just give you guys an update. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Cool. All right. So this is SharePoint, right? So I did a bit of insight on SharePoint 2 days ago, but I wanted to show you guys about Power BI with Excel or SharePoint. Okay. So I'll show you something quickly. Right. So if we go here and we'll create an Excel file. Right. This is going to be a very quick video. It's not that long. So let's just say we have 2 columns here, right? In the Excel, right? We have a country column, and we have a sales amount column. All right. So basically, you just say in the country column we've got one country called say Germany, and the sales amount says $100,000, and the next amount is France, and the sales amount says $300,000, and the next one is called Italy, and the sales amount is $600,000. $600,000, and just say Denmark, and that sales amount is say $50,000. All right. So this is our Excel sheet, right? So we've got 2 columns here: country and sales amount, right? Now what we want to do is we want to produce Power BI report from this Excel sheet. So how would we go and do that, right? So basically, let me just save this. So let me just save that as browse. Right, I'll just put it here in my desktop. Yep, I'll just put it in my desktop here. Right, I'll just call it sales details. Right, and now that file is saved in my desktop. Right, now how do we show? What do we do with? So what Power BI is basically is it gets data from a data source, and it shows graphical it shows reports based on that data, right? So bar graph, pie graph, maps, those type of things. So I'll show it to you guys now. So we'll open Power BI. It's just opening. Okay, and if to get to Power BI, if you don't have it, best thing to do is go here, and if you want to play around with it, that is, go here and type in Power BI download, right? And you click on download Power BI, and here you can download the desktop for free, right? So and you should be able to download it and install it in your local computer. Okay, now so basically what I was saying, basically, so I'll open up Power BI. So I've got Power BI here. All right, so we'll just start new. So we'll go let's just go just 1 second. I'll just open up Power BI here. Right, what we'll do is actually what we'll do. Okay. All right, so what we'll do in the Power BI, we'll go here, we'll go here, we'll go get data. Right, so the first thing we'll do is get data, and we'll go Excel, and we'll choose the desktop, and we'll go here, sales details, and you can see here that it loaded the sales detail data, sheet 1. So if you go here, if you look at it, this is called sheet 1, right? If we rename this, for example, Europe sales, right? And we just save it, save, right? And if we refresh this, this will be called Europe sales, right? So sheet 1, this is the data, all right, load. All right, we load here. Okay, now we have here, these are the two, fields, right? You can see this country is a text data type, where the sales amount is a or number data type. And here we got our records, right? So it's loaded the records, and now what we can do is we can generate reports out of it, right? So here we go home. First thing we'll do, we'll go here, new visual, right? And we'll add a map. Here's our reports, right? These are all the different types of reports, right? So what we can do is we can add a map. All right, so if we go to map, right? If we click on map here, and this is our Europe sales data. So we click on country and sales, and you can see here, automatically, it picked it up and it generated a map for us. So, which is pretty cool, right? So what you can see here, it generated the map for us. And yeah, so you can see here, right? So which one has the most sales? We see Denmark has the least sales, right? Because it's got a small green circle, whereas Italy has one of the most sales. All right, and if you want to go, you got other graphs here as well. You go here, view, right? You go here, new visual, right? And we'll go add this visual, and we'll make this a bar graph. Sorry, a bar graph, and you do the same thing, sales, and you see here the sales. And if you click on here, Italy, it will zoom in. It's not zooming in, but it's getting close, right? So, so yeah. So, and on top of that, you can add other things here, other graphs as well, like the donut chart. So if we go here, we'll add a new visual, and we'll add a donut chart, right? Go there, and we can see here, we can see, oh, well, Italy has more than 50% of the sales. See, 57.5, 57.14, France, nearly 30%, and Denmark has the lowest. So this this donut graph, you can really tell which one has the most sales, right? So, and this way, for example, a manager or an executive or someone in the company, for example, you know, if we're doing some type of sales type of business, and we look at this report, we go, okay, well, looks like Italy is a good place. We're already invested. We should invest in Denmark. You know what I mean? So this gives a good visual of what to do, right? Now, so this is Excel, right? And I mean, there's lots of visuals here you can play around with. I mean, there's one here even called the slicer. Oh, wow, just 1 second. Okay, right. And so if we add a new visual, new visual, right? The slicer, and we just have the country there, and then we can like slice the data. You know what I mean? And we'll get some information from there, right? So yeah, there's lots of things you can do with this. Other ones are like this one's here, you know, these type of graphs, right? So these are that there. Right now, let's say we wanted to make this type of graph with the SharePoint list, right? So how do we do that? So basically in our SharePoint, so we go back to our SharePoint, right? So just to let you guys know, to get into SharePoint, right? You just type it in Office 365 login, right? In Office 365 login, you'll have, you click on there, you'll log in. Obviously you need some subscription. You've probably got to pay for it, and then you get SharePoint here, right? And you click here, and then you'll see go to SharePoint, and you can go to SharePoint here, right? So once you're in SharePoint, I'll make a quick list here. I'll make a very replica to this, right? So we'll call this list here. This is just a site in the SharePoint, right? IT department. So right, and we'll just create a new list here. And we'll call this list here sales details, right? And we'll create here. And now with that, now we have that here. So we've got a column here called title. We'll add another column here called currency column. We'll call this here sales amount. All right, correct. Right, and this is a title. We can rename this with a column. We'll rename this. In the background, this name will still be called title, but we can rename this and we can call it like country, right? So now what we can do, is we can insert a new item like for Germany sales amount, say 400,000. All right, we can do that as well and go from there. You can keep on adding item. Or one thing else you can do here, if I just delete this here, what you can do is see this Excel sheet, right? What you can do is you can copy this here, right? Copy this to there, right? And you can right click, copy. And what you do is you go edit in grid view. And here you just go, just hit Control V. Okay, let's see if it works. Oh, no. There we go, Control V. And it's into the data for you. All right, so that's one thing with SharePoint lists is you can copy data from Excel and you can just paste it here. Right, and you exit the grid view and it's out of the records for us, right? So exact replica of the Excel. Now what we want to do is, right, is we'll create a new visual, right? So we'll go. So I'll create a new Power BI. So this was based on the what you call it? This was based on the Excel. Now we'll create another Power BI. We'll base that on the SharePoint, right? So we'll go here. We'll go new. All right. So just one second. All right. Okay, it's just loading for us. I'll just yeah. I'll just drag it here. So file new. So we'll go here. We'll go get data. SharePoint is not here. So what we'll do is obviously you can get data from all other data sources. You can get from Excel and database and other places, but we want to get from SharePoint. So what we do here is type in here SharePoint, right, and we'll choose the SharePoint list, right, and we specify the URL of the SharePoint list. So if we go here, we see here there is a URL. Now see how this SharePoint site is called IT department. So copy onto here. You don't need to copy anything after here. All right, list, and because this list is sales details list, right? So like for example, sales income list, you'll see list, sales income history list, right? And this sales detail list. So before the list, copy the whole URL, right? So copy it and we'll paste it here, right? We'll click on OK. Right, and now I need to sign in. What I'll do is I'll sign in. Just one sec. I'll sign in the other screen. Just one sec. I'll just sign in. Okay. All right. All right, I've signed in. Right. And now here's my SharePoint list, right? Now from that list, we had the sales detail list that we created, right? And a bit different here, as you see other columns here. These are some columns SharePoint creates itself, right? You can see the Germany title here. As mentioned, even though we changed the name to country, but in the background, the name was title. And then here we created a column called, where is it? Sales amount, right? And all these other columns, they're generated by SharePoint automatically. So yeah, we don't have to worry about that one. So we load it. So now we load it, right? Now we have the columns here. Remember, ignore all the other ones, right? The main thing we're concerned about is the sales amount and the title being the country column. If you look here, it will see here when we load the data, sales amount here, right? And the title here, right? So we go here and so what we do, one thing what to do here is the sales amount. If you remember in the Excel one, I'll just go back to the Excel one. The Excel one's still open here. So this is the Excel one. The sales amount was a whole number, right? And the country was a text, right? So if we go back to our one, the sales amount, we have to make it a whole number. And if you see here, you'll see this thing here, right? Just focus there. And if we change this to a whole number, you'll see that here. Yep. You'll see that this is now save. Yeah. Okay. I think it's saved. It should change it here. Maybe not there. Okay. Okay. So change it to a whole number here. And basically, and that's it. We can start our development now, right? So if I go here, and if I go here, okay, here, right? This is a whole number now, sales amount, right? With the title, right? Okay, cool. So now what we do is we'll go to our visual, we'll go home, new visual, right? And we'll add, for example, the bar graph. So here's sales amount. You can see here it's this amount here. That means it's a calculated. It's a number column. And we'll select the title here, and we'll select the sales amount here. Right, even see here in the axis, the title is here and the sales amount is here as a sum. All right, and again, we'll go to our new visual, and we'll add a donut. We'll add that here, and we'll add the title here. Actually, 1 second. Once again, we'll add that there and that there. Hold on. Is it meant to be a donut? Donut. Cool. And yeah, and you can see the data. Even if you want to see the data more in a list as well, we click on new visual. I'll add that here. And this one we can show it in a table format. Title and the sales amount, right? So you can see here, right? So if you click on here, you click on here, it all narrows down. All right, so that's basically about it. Any questions, anyone? I'll stop the recording.